Establishing character straight away is more important than establishing plot. Now, you either think that's a stupid or controversial opinion, so let me explain myself. Historically speaking, on the topic of character versus narrative, the consensus has always seemed to be that the plot is king, because that's what Aristotle said. But we're talking about TV comedy, and I don't think Aristotle's got much to say on that topic. Think of The Office, for example. Do you care about the workplace setting or the people who work there? In the first scene of the first episode of The Office, Michael is very quickly established as being, quirky.
Very good. How are things going at the library?
Oh, I told you, I couldn't close it, so...
So you've come to the master for guidance? Is this what you're saying, Grasshopper?
Actually, you called me in here.
But it doesn't give you much of a sense of the other characters in that office, they're just reacting. It takes 3 minutes before they cut away from Michael to go to someone else in the office. I think a sitcom should be able to sum up what it's about, what its character's deal is in the first scene, and do so without making it look that obvious. That's why in my video on the family sitcom, when I explain why Bob's Burgers is the best example of that genre, I've used the first episode's first scene to support my argument.
Alright, listen. You're my children, and I love you, but you're all terrible at what you do here. And I feel like I should tell you, I'd fire all of you if I could.
Bob!
Alright, hands in.
Here's what the show is about. A burger restaurant. Here's how the characters work. They all love each other, but they're really weird.
Bob's Burgers!
Free samples. Come and get it.
This is important in drama too. The best dramas are the ones that establish a character and premise straight away. The Wire has, hands down, the best opening scene of all time. It conveys the frustration and the hopelessness and the grit and the grind of surviving in inner city Baltimore and, on a bigger scale, America in 2 minutes and 52 seconds. House of Cards, separating the art from the artist, mind. Underwood kills a dog in his first scene. Kicking a dog is a really old trope to tell you that you're looking at a bad guy, but the way Underwood justifies what he does, that sums up his whole character there, and it gives you his motivation for the rest of the series that he's in. In comedy, though, you have to do all that with some jokes on top, and establish what kind of sense of humour the show's going to have. Futurama takes a while to get there, but the way that it gives you the sense of the series with the futuristic setting and its taste of humour is great.
Whew.
My God, it's the future. My parents, my coworkers, my girlfriend. I'll never see any of them again. Yahoo!
Arrested Development, as good as it is, has a lot of backstory to cover and characters to introduce, but they have a narrator to speed things along.
For 10 years, he's worked for his father's company, waiting to be made a partner. And right now, he's happy. This is Michael's mother.
Look what they've done, Michael.
She isn't happy.
Look what the homosexuals have done to me.
You can't just calm that out and reset it?
Currently, she's upset that her husband's retirement party is being upstaged by a group of gay protesters.
Everything I do is so dramatic and flamboyant, it just makes me want to set myself on fire.
But you know what does knock the first scene out of the park? Mr. Mayor.
Morning, Mr. Mayor.
Hello.
I honestly only put this on because I was looking for some background TV. The premise held no relevant interest to me. The poster made it look annoyingly cheerful, but it won me over in its first scene, its first few minutes. Just look how well it sets up the premise and tells you who these characters are in just under a minute.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Mayor.
Hello. See you, Mayor. Morning. Morning. Morning.
Morning.
You do realize I'm lost, right?
Oh, it's this way, sir.
Morning.
Sir, I know you said no to the teleprompter, but just remember to emphasize job creation and please don't try to speak Spanish again.
It's not my fault. Pedo means dog and butt. That's just goofy.
You might well let me hold your watch, sir. An Audemars Piguet might be perceived as elitist.
When exactly did elite become a bad word, Tommy?
2001, Perry Ellis introduces Elite Cologne, base notes of Tonka Bean and Oak Moss. Who is that for?
Excuse me, Mr. Bremer? Hi,
Hi.
J.D. Quapis, Interim Director of Communications.
Your hand's very warm, Jaden.
Yes, I was holding a French bread pizza.
Okay.
You ready, sir?
Morning, sir. Morning.
Morning, Mr. Mayor.
Hello. See you, Mayor. Morning. Morning. Morning.
Morning.
You do realize I'm lost, right?
Straight away, it's a good gag. It's one that's massively telling you of his character. This guy said, "Hello, Mr. Mayor," so you know who he is. So you know what his job is. He doesn't know where he's going, so you know he's either new to this job or bad at it. Either way, that's got me interested. His aides, they're well established too. You have the socially aware voice of reason, the young influencer sort, and you also have the facts and figures guy, the smart suit and tie educated guy who's going to be the number cruncher dude. It even manages to slip in the goofball character, the figure of fun that all these shows have, which the classic archetypes would have us call the fool, the comedy dell'altro structure would call the clown, but for reasons I will cover in another video, I call the Zoidberg.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Fry. You lost the woman of your dreams, but you still have Zoidberg. You all still have Zoidberg.
Anyway, there are a lot of shows that have done a perfectly fine job with establishing character and premise in the opening scene.
Since I was a kid, I've been able to sleep through anything. Storms, sirens, you name it. Last night I didn't sleep. I guess I get a little goofy when I'm nervous. You see, today isn't just any other day. It's my first day. I'm the man.
But then there are shows that establish humour over premise, like Toast of London. Toast of London doesn't mention he's an actor until after the credits. It just lets you get used to the weird sense of humour the show's going to have going forward, and if you want to stick with it then, cool.
I thought you said you were a beekeeper.
No, a beak-keeper. I keep beaks.
That's an impressive collection.
Look, I didn't ask you back to my flat to look at my beaks.
Of course you didn't.
Community has to explain what a community college is and introduce you to 8 characters, and it does that in just over a minute, which is really impressive. But it does batter you with information in that first scene, and I don't think that's something comedy should do.
I really wanted to. I'm only half Arabic, actually. My dad is Palestinian. I mean, he's a U.S. citizen. He's not a threat to national security or anything. A lot of people want to know that after they meet him because he has an angry energy. But not like angry at America, just angry at my mom for leaving him. Although she did leave because he was angry, and he was angry because she's American. My name's Abed, by the way.
Abed, nice to know you and then meet you in that order. Now, about that question that I asked?
Oh, 5 after 11 when you asked.
Abed.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the hot girl from Spanish class? I can't find a road in there.
Well, I only talked to her once while she was borrowing a pencil, but her name is Britta. She's 28, birthday in October. She has 2 older brothers, and one of them works with children who have a disorder I might want to look up. Oh, and she thinks she's going to flunk tomorrow's test, so she really needs to focus, and she's sorry if that makes her seem cold.
Holy crap. Abed, I see your value now.
And yeah, there's a long list of great shows that also have that first episode or even a first series that doesn't really represent what the rest of the series is about. And that's fine. Some shows need time to find their feet, the actors need to get a better sense of the character, whatever. I can live with that. What I cannot abide is a terrible first scene that should be enough to tell everyone to get out while you still can.
So if a photon is directed through a plane with 2 slits in it and either slit is observed, it will not go through both slits. If it's unobserved, it will. However, if it's observed after it's left the plane but before it hits its target, it will not have gone through both slits.
Agreed. What's your point?
There's no point. I just think it's a good idea for a t-shirt.
Excuse me.
Hang on.
1 across is Aegean, 8 down is Nabokov, 26 across is MCM, 14 down is, move your finger, Phylum, which makes 14 across Port-au-Prince. See, Papadoc's capital idea, that's Port-au-Prince. Haiti.
Can I help you?
Yes. Is this the high IQ sperm bank?
If you have to ask, maybe you shouldn't be here.
Look at the wasted time in this where nothing's happened. And then the length of time they spend establishing the obvious we're smart premise, and then top that off with a joke that gives you the information you got in the joke anyway. So you see what I think is so impressive about Mr. Mayor's opening scene. It gives you that theme, character, and humoric sense straight away. If you think there are better opening scenes, you can comment below. If you think judging a show by its first scene is like judging a book by its cover, then give me a better example. Try and change my mind, comment below, give the video a thumb, and I'll see you again next month.